My name is JBryce, and I'll be going over knowledge integration number 4. I'm in ECE 312, 332, however I am not in 342. And today I will be covering the transmission line from a signals and systems point of view, a microelectronics point of view, and that's it. The topics we will be covering of the signals of the transmission line is going to be the amplifier, the mixer, the local oscillator, and the various filters that are built into it. And so we will see the schematic here highlighted in the red box. We have a preamplifier that's connected to a mixer, then connected to a local oscillator, that's then connected, or coming back out of the mixer is a power amplifier, bandpass filter hooked up to a duplexer, and then an antenna. Starting with the preamplifier, it's just a kind of a generic amplifier. It could be a transistor, it could be an op amp. It's just used to amplify the baseband signal that's coming into the system. That then gets connected to a mixer that takes two signals and combines them into one, so they can be processed into a bandpass filter, power amplifier, then directed out of the antenna. The local oscillator that is attached to the mixer is used for tuning frequencies, so whatever frequencies are coming in and out of the mixer, the local oscillator can tune to within a degree of anywhere from 2 to 5% accuracy. And the way a local oscillator works is it has an LC bank that allows a charge of a buildup of charge on the capacitor, so that way it basically builds a tank of electric charge that can then discharge accordingly as it's needed. Now once leaving the mixer, you're then hitting the power amplifier, which is just a power gain that's being applied to whatever signal is coming out of the mixer, and then we move into the bandpass filter. Now the bandpass filter could be comprised of a low-pass filter and a high-pass filter, which we see here. Low-pass filter on the left, high-pass filter on the right. Now a low-pass filter passes anything that's below its cutoff frequency. So let's say the cutoff frequency is 20 kilohertz, it will pass everything that is below 20 kilohertz. Anything after that, it will cut off. Now the opposite is true for a high pass filter. It will pass anything above a certain frequency. So if the cutoff frequency is 20 kilohertz, it will pass everything above 20 kilohertz. Now if you combine these two, you get what's called as a bandpass filter, and that will pass everything above and below a certain range. So let's say you have a bandpass filter between 20K and 80K hertz. It will pass all frequencies above 20 kilohertz and all frequencies below 80 kilohertz. It will cut the frequencies that are below 20K and above 80K. And now, looking at a bandpass filter from a 312 point of view, the Bode plot, it has a negative 20 dB slope on both sides is the first order. If you wanted to make it a steeper slope, you would then go up to a second order filter, and that would be a negative 40 dB slope or a positive 40 dB slope. However, whenever you increase the strictness of a filter or the pickiness of a filter, it hampers the performance. So if you want to have if you want to allow all frequencies above 20K in, but you don't want to allow 19.9K in, then you have to make a pretty substantial or a pretty strict filter, and that hampers performance, therefore making it run slower, more sluggish. And the converse of that is you can have a kind of a wide filter where it will accept a wider range of the boundaries, and then the performance is increased. However, the trade-off is you're allowing more frequencies, which could be more noise, more interference, etc. So as always when designing electrical engineering circuits, there's a trade-off. And that's kind of depends on what application you're going for. But in terms of a bandpass filter, let's say you have a really strict lower cutoff and a loose upper cutoff. Because the lower cutoff is so strict, it will propagate the slower response, the hampered performance throughout the entire system. So it'd be best to kind of shoot for, if you're going to make a really tight lower cutoff frequency, you might as well make a really tight upper cutoff frequency, or else then you're just kind of making your bandpass filter slow for no reason. And that's really it in terms of covering the transmission lines. They're super applicable to everyday scenarios, basically anything with an antenna. You can use them from garage door openers to your phone has several antennas in it, iPads, tablets that have cellular capabilities have them, and just a really wide range of utility for any and all devices.